Yeah, in the last class, we discussed about there are two types of methods we are using to access an array. One is for each you want to access each and every element inside an array. You are going to use for each. If you are not using that, if you need only a particular element, then we are going to use. We also discussed about assigning one array to another array. Actually, there was a class going on behind me. So, if there is any big disturbance and all, never mind. Today itself, tomorrow onwards, I will take some other location to explain whatever it is. So, here, let me share my screen 1 second. Here, this one actually demo. This, yeah. So, we are using an array and we are going to assign a length. If these two lengths are equal, then only one array can be assigned to another array. So how we are going to find the length? By using a keyword length. So by using this, we are going to use this length over here. So why it is not highlighted? You have to remember this. See, let me delete this one. So now we'll check whether the length is assigned or not. When we assign b is equal to a, but here when I assign a length towards an array for b, it can't be, there is no need to initialize over here. If you assign b is equal to a, automatically it will take. Yesterday itself I tried. So here what it is saying, please declare an array b. Then if you make this assignment, then I will assign the same length to B. So there is no need to mention the size over here. So it will ask in this way. It will work in this way. So here what B will say, please directly assign the value A so that directly I can assign the length. There is no need to mention like this. A dot length. So there is no need to mention like this. See this. All these are highlighted and this is not highlighted. So there is no need to do this one. So after assigning this, inside this, inside B, we are having 5 memory locations. We are having 5 memory locations. So initially A is having 5 memory locations because we initialize 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After assigning B is equal to A, then directly compiler assigns 5 locations for B also. Okay, now you got the point, right? Let me run this program. Please, 1 second. Yeah, it has been done. See this. So there is no need to declare over here. Okay, directly. B is equal to A is enough to assign the length as well as the values also. What I said, it won't be copied, but it is a reference. It works as a reference. It won't be copied. This is a reference only. Okay, please remember this word. Just a reference. It won't be copied. Okay, let me share my let me share my PPT. Please make sure that to concentrate on my voice because parallelly one more class is going on. Okay. First of all, yeah, assigning has been completed. There are two ways to assign. One is a for each loop and another one is for loop. So for the individual elements, this is for every elements inside an array. So now we are going to discuss about sorting. So what is a sorting? Sorting in the sense there are two types of sortings available. One is ascending order, and another one is a descending order. So sorting is a way to arrange the elements of a list or array in a certain order. Actually, sort in the sense we all are familiar with sorting. So what is this? Arranging elements in a certain order. Certain in the sense either ascending or descending. The order may be ascending or descending. Ascending means from smaller to bigger. Descending means from bigger to smaller. So there is only two ways to arrange the elements, either in ascending order or a descending order. So using a sort method, we can directly sort the values inside an array. So there is a method called sort. There is a method called sort. Inside Java, there is no need to go for looping or whatever it is. There is a method called sort. Inside Java, directly, we can sort all the values of an array directly. So without using the method also, we can use this one. So without using the method, this is the method we are using, and now we are using a for loop also. So for your information point of view, we need use of sort method as well as use a for loop. So we can sort it out like there is a sorting like bubble sort is there. So bubble sort, I will explain that one, how to do that, because in your data structures, this is an important topic, how to sort the elements of an array by using a bubble sort. So this is also one of the important topic you have to remember. So at the time of a data structures, it is very important. So what we are discussing, elements of an array can be sorted with a user defined method, or this is a predefined method. This is a predefined method. This method is already available in Java so that we can directly sort it out. But we have to learn these two things also by using a for loop and by using user defined method also. Okay. Don't get confused. There are maximum three types over here. One is a sort method, which is already available inside a Java, which we'll call it as a predefined method. And this is a for loop, and we are going to use user defined method also. User defined in the sense we are going to declare a method and will call that, and the array of elements will be sorted. So now we are going to discuss about sort method, which we'll call it as predefined method. Okay. See this. So predefined method is this arrays dot sort. Arrays dot sort. So this is enough. So in Java, why we are calling a Java, which is a very fast and robust, strong compared with C language and purely object-oriented programming. So here we are having a method which is available inside the arrays object. Arrays is also one of the object available inside. I mean, what we call that package or some. So in Python there is a module, right? Similarly, we are going to use this module. This is one of the package or a module or whatever it is, object. So object dot sort. Sort is a predefined available in Java where the array consisting of sort. So we are going to pass an array. This is our array. This is our array. Array in the sense our array consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are passing this over here directly. So first of all, we'll discuss this and then we'll discuss about this. Okay. This is ascending order. Let me share my screen. So I'm creating another class called ASC for ascending. Just I mentioned like this. So how to mention the class? There is a capital S, and if there is another word, we are going to take a capital letter for that also. Okay. Yeah, has been created. And now I'm going to write string box. Okay, now I'm going to write. So first of all, we are going to initialize an array. an array. So what is that? So we are going to take integer. There is a closed braces and there is a value called a, the name of array. And now I'm going to write the values. So for the sorting purpose, I'm taking first 3, 4, so 1, 2, and 5. Yeah, it is enough for that. So now we are going to call that one. Wait a second. I'll show that for you. So now you have to import the package. I am import java.util.arrays. See this. So this is a package available inside a util package. So by using this, we are going to getting arrays AYS arrays got sorted. Okay. So now I'm going to take arrays A or arrays dot sort. See this. So many things are available, but initially we are having an integer over here. We are going to assign this. So you can pass an object also directly. You can pass an object also. Array is nothing but an object. You have to remember that. All these are available. See, so many options are there. You can sort it from index to index. So index in the sense from here to here. So there are so many sorting available, but in our syllabus point of view, I think this method is enough for you. So you can sort from index to index. Index in the sense from 1 to 5, you can sort it out. Excuse me. Just sort A. So this is the name of an array. Okay. So now I'm going to declare. So now I need to print the values. Print the values. Okay. Arrays are sorted. So here you have to remember one thing. By using a predefined method, the arrays are sorted and stored in A. Don't get confused. Arrays are sorted and stored in A. Now we are going to print A values. That's it. For int I, I'm going to assign A. Sorry. For each loop, this is a for each loop, and system dot. Okay. So now I'm going to print I. Okay. Now I'm going to run this program. Let me run this sort.sn. So see this. This is one of the way to sort the values. So first of all, it has been sorted. Let me explain this again. So first of all, we initialized to sort. So here we used an arrays which is available in util package, and then by using a dot operator, I'm calling this method. So you know that how to call that method. So from object you can directly call that method. So dot sort, and I assign this to here. So here all the values get sorted out and it will be saved inside the same array. All these values are replaced and all these are stored inside this array, and we are going to print that now. So this is one of the sorting method we are using in the present scenario, which is a very easy. This is very easy. But if you are if in the examination, if they ask like use a different method, then you have to write a for loop to sort it out. So this is one of the programs. Now we are going for the PPT. Wait a second. Let me share you. See this, use a different method. You use a different method in the sense we are having all these structure inside our program. We are not going to use this particular method. We have to use this one. We are sorry. We are going to use this type of method. So what it will do, this is a linear model. They will call this as a linear sorting. So linear sorting is very inefficient. This is not efficient. Linear sorting is inefficient because if it is like the array consisting of 100 elements, then it will take more time. So more time in the sense the performance will be decrease for the application. So this is we should not recommend this. So if the array consisting of like minimum elements like 5 to 10, then this is okay. You should not use this method. So you should not use this type of technique for sorting. If there are 100 elements available inside the sorting, then this is very bad programming. It will take a lot of time. So, and the application process will be, performance will be decreased and the time will be increased. So, which the programmers won't recommend this program. You have to remember this. But our syllabus point of view, we have to discuss this. So don't forget, because the for loop, inside a for loop is a very good technique for accessing some elements. So inside this we are having a temporary variable. We just declare initialize a temporary variable, and we are saying that please add this array to me if this particular array is greater than j. So j is starts with I plus 1 and then assign temporary to if this particular value, if it is greater. So what here it is doing, it is a general linear sorting. General linear sorting is array is let me show you one thing. Let me I will show you. Wait a second. You can understand very what it will do. Okay, see this. I just copied this one. Yeah, see this. So inside this, we are having array of I, array of j. So here the value consisting of initially 0. So here it is consisting of 0 plus 1. So it compares these two things side by side. It compares these two things first in the sense. So first element will be compared with the second element. So here, if it is a smaller, if it is a greater, it will be swapped. If it is smaller, it won't be swapped. Now itself, these two things will be checked. These conditions will be checked over here. This is a linear way. So the adjacent elements will be swapped if it is a bigger. Sorry, throat infection is there. No, it's okay. 14 and 13 3. So adjacent elements will be swapped if it is greater. If it is a smaller, is it will be ignored, and after that 33 and 27. So initially 33 and 27 were, this is smaller, so it will be served. The concept of this is the way we go, adjacent elements will be swapped if there is a bigger number or a smaller number, okay, based on the values, whether it is bigger or smaller, the adjacent elements, adjacent in the sense side by side, these two will call it as adjacent elements, this will be swapped, nothing else. So how it will be managed, there is a temporary variable, please assign that 14 over here, and after that if it is bigger, so here we'll check 33, 33 will be copied to temporary variable, and now it is empty, so inside the empty j 27 will be assigned. So after that, so it is empty j now. For this, a temporary variable, what is that? 27. So it will be assigned. So how, I mean, in this way, the array will be sorted. Okay, we'll go into the program and then we'll check whether it is working properly or not. Okay, let me share my screen. 1 second. Where is it? Yeah. See over here, this is predefined method, right? So there is no need to worry about it. So which is a very simple program. Now I'm going to take another one. Sort ASC. Okay, user defined. So this is user defined. I mentioned in this way. Okay, let me copy so that it is easy for me. Okay. Okay. See, now I'm going to take an array. And I'm going to initialize it. A is equals to 20, 40, 30, 22, and 40, 34. Yeah, enough. So now we are going to work on this. Let me copy this one so that it is easy for me. Think that one, what I declared. This is array 9. This is A. Yeah, we will declare it as A or so that there is no need to change anything. Yeah, it has been completed. Let me check it whether it is in the proper order or not. Okay, yeah, there is an error. 1 second. So I need to print those values. System dot. Oh. First of all, you have to remember this logic. This is the main logic you have to remember. If array I is greater than array j, assign it to the temporary variable. So you have to remember this logic. Don't you need, this is common thing. You have to remember this one. I. Wait a second. Oh, 1 second, 1 second. It should be inside this. Should be inside this. Okay, I have to close that. Yeah, see this. Here, we initialized an array, and all these values we are passing, we are taking 2 for loops over here. So, control A, control S. Okay, let me save this one. So here we initialized an array. We are passing this array values to for loop. So the first for loop consisting, it starts with the 0 because 0 in the sense it starts, the index of an array starts with the 0. It is essential, it is mandatory to mention 0 over here. Don't forget this. Even myself, I will do errors in some cases. So I will forget that and I will put 1 over there. So don't forget, because array index starts with a 0. That's why the first for loop must be 0. And it will be, next for loop should be incremented based on the outer for loop. So inside inner for loop, we have to remember should be 1 increment over here. And it should be less than the length of this. It starts with a 0 and it should be 1. So don't forget all these things, which is everything. Should not keep is equal to over here. Should not keep it. Okay. So it starts with the 0. If it starts with the 0, it should start with 1 of increment for this. Okay. There should be a temporary variable. And if it is greater, this temporary variable will be assigned by the this number, which is smaller after the comparison. Okay, now let me run this program. So it has been sorted out. See, this is not a recommended type of sorting. This is not recommended. For the sense of a file means it is okay. But in the sense of 100 or 200, more than if the elements are more inside an array, you should not consider this way. This is a very bad programming. You should not go in this way. Okay. First of all, you have to remember in which way the sorting technique is good. So you have to use this one, which is good for us. So here, in some conditions, we'll mention it as. Let me tell you one thing. So I think in your, I don't know when it will come. Actually, the complexity they will tell us. Let me ask you one thing. Big O notation, you know about Big O notation, right? Time complexity, Big O notation. Did anyone said that? I mean, Big O notation, omega notations. So the complexity of the program will be calculated based on the complexity of the based on the notations. So it consisting of Big O notation O log n. So this is the complexity for this program. This is a complexity for this program. So you will in other classes they will explain that one. There is a subject called, I think I don't know the subject too. So this is the time complexity. So based on the complexity of a program will be calculated based on Big O notations and omega notations and all. So based on that, you have to calculate the complexity. So if you are going to choose this program, it will take a lot of time for you. So please remember which programming technique is good for you. So the program application programming is, sorry, one second. So application should be fast. If the application is not fast, your programming skill is somewhat low. You have to fill in that way. Based on the network, somewhat different. If you are using internet in your application itself, it is okay. It is taking time because of your data is low or somewhat else. If the programming itself, when you click on somewhat a button or some other tab itself, it should open quickly because it is not connected to the internet. Application should be fast, but the data receiving is somewhat different. So the complexity of the program is based on your programming skills only. Okay, don't forget those things. Let me wait. Let me share you my screen. Yeah, okay, see this. So this is the method we are using for a descending order. Descending in the sense from bigger to smaller. So don't go for this. There is a problem with this user defined actually in the reverse order. So I will explain. Wait a second. This one. Don't see this program. So first of all, here we are having the same package which is available inside an array, but here we'll use a method called collections. This is the object available in util package. You have to use this. By using this, we are calling the reverse order. So for the ascending itself, we are having only sort. But here we are passing our array over here, and the second argument as collections dot reverse order. Let me run this program. You will get a good idea about that. Yeah, say this. This I'm going to change over here. No need to think about that. So here we are passing an array as well as collections. So collections, it is also available inside a util package dot reverse order. See this reverse order. Why it is showing error? Let me see this one. It won't be like that. Wait a second. I think it should not be in that. Yeah. See, actually, why it is showing in that way? Because it requires an object. So sorry, what I'm sharing. Okay. Sorry, why my screen is irritating. Yeah, see this. So this is an object. So we need object. For that, what we have to do here? We have to take object over here, integer. So the problem will be rectified because why it is asking what this data type. This is the data type. There are two types of data type: primitive data types, non-primitive data type. This is a non-primitive data type. So this is a non-primitive data type. Here we are using integer over here because in the sense of a reverse order, it is essential if we use a collections dot order, we have to mention integer over here. Please remember this one. If it is like a single sort, I mean sorting in ascending order, then here int is enough. Primitive data type is enough. But in the sense of collections in the reverse order, we have to take object. So if we are using an object, it should be an object. It should be an object, or else it throws an error. Let me show you that error. See, required type T, provided int. T in the sense this is an object. Reason no instances of a type variables T exists int. Let me try in a different way. See, the error is not sorted out because object is essential. Let me run this program. See this, the order has been changed from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and every time, please make sure that understand it properly. So initially we used primitive data type over here. If you want for a descending order, you have to mention an object over here. Okay, don't forget this. And now I will share the screen. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. So this is not in the proper order. So actually, let me remove this. So for the user defined method, there should be somewhat a different technique we are using because ascending order in the sense we can compare the adjacent methods and then we can do that. But in the sense of this, we have to go in a different way. Let me show you that. you will understand easily. One second. Yeah, actually, the time has been completed. Tomorrow we'll discuss about the same topic. It is enough, I think, for the today. Please make sure that there is a difference in between ascending and descending orders while we are sorting with the predefined methods, and how the sorting will takes place. It compares a side by side elements, adjacent elements. So it is comparing adjacent elements. Tomorrow we'll discuss about predefined methods or user defined method of a descending order, which is also very important. If they ask like write a sort program based on the method, you have to use a method itself, or else if you want, they ask about particularly write pre a user defined method, you have to write that one. So because this is a small program, maybe some invigilate, I mean examiners, they will consider it as a 2 marks question or something else, because don't forget to write this linear search, sorry, linear method, that is a predefined, not predefined method, use user defined method in the examination point of view, that you will get a good marks. If you use a method, because this is also available, you have to mention that one also. So how the sorting takes place, and give an example, they will ask in this way. I will tell you about the important questions later in each and every unit. Okay, there is no need to panic and all about the examination. Please go through the textbook, don't forget to read the textbook. uh, Textbook is very essential, gives a good information compared with other materials. We are giving the material is just a information point of view, but textbook gives a lot of information, more information for you. Okay, you may leave the class. Thank you.